let's just have a quick chat about the FNL list, just while we're here. So I have a few opinions about the Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. I actually think a big portion of the cards on this list could come off like tomorrow, and nothing happens. I think the only ones that there's some that are like really egregious. I think things like a Guido and Artifact Scythe, absolutely not. But I think a lot of the cards on this list, Gofu could come back, Block Dragon could come back. They do like theoretically enable like degen combos, like some really broken shit that you can do with them. But I don't think that is a good enough reason to keep them banned. Like I don't think what they enable is consistent enough or powerful enough to keep them banned, if that makes sense. Things like Fiber Jar. Fiber Jar could definitely come back. Like this card, who gives a fuck about Fiber Jar? The stuff that like really should stay banned, like I think Grinder Golem probably should stay banned. Personally, I think Level Eater should probably stay banned. I mean, they banned Link Haribo, so like the real kind of pairing with it is gone. But even then, there's like a lot you can do with infinite Link material. A lot of the generic stuff's gone as well, so maybe you can just bring back Level Eater, as long as they don't print any more like generic cards like Appaloosa. Like Masterpiece could come off, that card sucks. Mathmech Circular could come off. There are like, dude, we just had Snake. We lived through Snake Eye Ash doing a one card. We have like normal summon Ice Ryziel, gets you like everything. And it's a comparable board to what I think Mathmech puts up. It's just not as layered. I think Mathmech Circular could at the very least come to one. It's the things that I think the things that like really need to be banned are like FTK enablers. Like those are the cards that like need to be on the list. Those are the ones that I really think need to be there. Like Tyrant Neptune, this guy should stay banned. This card's effect is a little too good. Victory Dragon, I understand why it's on there. They like the alt win condition thing. Like it just makes like a mess with like rulings. Jowgen should be on there. Like Kelbeck should be on there. It's a card that interacts with your opponent's deck and your deck in a really unfun way. Or not unfun, but just like a really overtuned way. Norden could come back. We don't have Instant Fusion. Norden can come back to 3 copies. Famous Lacrima probably should stay banned. I mean, we don't even have Beatrice. Like, if you unban Lacrima without Beatrice, who cares? Like, I'm so free. I think Lacrima can come back. Starving Venom, yeah, like these two probably should stay banned. I'm looking down this list of links and like, yeah, there's some pretty egregious ones in there. Like Agripane has to stay banned, right? Like Electromite's probably fine. Goblin and Mermaid are probably cool, like the extra normal and summoning a Nightmare. I don't think are that good anymore. Like those two can come back completely. Auroradon can come back, provided Hulk stays banned. And if they want to unban Hulk for like the new Crystron support, I don't know, maybe. I would bring Auroradon back though. Yamu could probably come to 1. Again, it's a 1 card, but like it also loses to like any one hand trap pretty much. They're really normal summon reliant, so like an Ash Blossom just like turn skips them usually. So I don't know. I think like I wouldn't hate bringing Miyamu back to like just like 1 copy. Like it's fine at 1. At like 3, you're pushing like a little bit much. Samorg Bird, again, that can, as long as like barrier statue stays banned, Samorg Bird can come off. I don't see a reason this thing can't come off. There are cards that do way more than Samorg Bird in the game right now. I actually, controversial opinion, I don't think Verte needs to be banned. I think Verte can come back. He's just whatever. Verte can come back. Summon Sork just had the errata. This card's coming off the list. I don't know, man. Like, just so many of these cards seem so... I mean, these all need to be banned, actually. I'm saying that. A lot of these need to be banned. Lavalval Chain. It's Foolish Burial on a 4, but, like... We've got, like, 4 pops on a 4 now, so I don't know. Maybe Chain could come back. I wouldn't dislike seeing, like, Invoker and Chain come off the list. I think Trident can come back. Broad Bull can probably come back. I don't know. I'm hesitant to put Broad Bull off the list, but it's probably fine. Yeah, the cards like Rongo Nimiad and Diablosis and like Dark Matter, I think those should stay banned. I think Zexal should stay banned. I think Azathoth should stay banned. VFD. But like Zen Meity, get that guy off there. You know what I mean? Tomahawk, it's like, oh, it summons 4 tokens. Yeah. It's legal in Master Duel. It does nothing. Tomahawk can come back. Butterfly Dagger Elmo was used in like the worst FTK ever, I think. It was like something with like Phoenix Gearfried to like activate and pop it, or sorry, not Phoenix Gearfried, Gearfried the Iron Knight to like activate and pop it over and over again. It's like 3 unsearchable cards. It's a terrible FTK. This card can come back. It doesn't do anything. Low-key Brilliant Fusion can come back. Like super low-key Brilliant Fusion can get unlimited. Cold Wave probably not, but like Card of Safe Return. Card of Safe Return can come back. People wouldn't play this card. You wouldn't play this card. This card sucks. Unless actually no, I know. I do take that back. I take that back. That's a terrible take. That's a that's a really bad take. As soon as there's like any deck that like sets up their graveyard and starts summoning from it, this turns into like, yeah, it's unsearchable, but it is like a +3, so maybe you probably shouldn't put that in. I mean, like Heavy Storm, bring that back. Giant Trunade. I think the fact that it bounces instead of destroys is like pretty important. If you have something that's like technically like a continuous, it's like non-once per turn, like a Tenki or something. Oh no, Tenki's hard once, isn't it? I don't know. There's definitely something you could do with Trunade that I think is like probably not fun, but Heavy Storm can come back. It's just like at 1, it's fine. I mean, like Metamorphosis, that card can come back. Who cares? Bring Metamorphosis back. Who cares? I actually think OSS should come back and Flombird should be the one to go. Fucking Rarin notification. Thank you. Like Premature Burial. That card can come back. Like, I mean, there's just like a few of the cards on this list. You look at them, you're like, yeah, okay, I get that. Last Turn should be on there. Reboot should be on there. Royal Oppression should be on there. Self-Destruct button should be on there. Sixth Sense, yeah. A lot of the traps I think are pretty fair. Ultimate Offering can come back. Pay 500 for a normal summon on your opponent's turn. Who gives a fuck? It's unsearchable. Ultimate Offering can come back. And like the limits, obviously the Exodia pieces could all come to 3, but they're on there for like lore reasons. Collapse Serpent and Wyver Burster can both come to 3. Protoss can come to 3. Astra can come to 3. Dark Grepher can come to 3. Doesn't do anything. Misk can probably come to 3. I still think Dino is just like a glass cannon scam deck. It's not like a good deck. It's just frustrating. If they move away from the like pop the baby style of Dino gameplay, I think Misk can come back to 3. I think this card's completely fine. Same with Morphing Jar. This guy can come back. Phantom Sky Blaster. Who cares? Substitute. Who cares? It's part of the worst FTK in history and Ronin's banned, so who cares? Like Shrivara. Put that guy to 3. Wyver Burster to 3. I think I'd actually really just like they limited Shrivara. I think this guy should have been 3 forever. Master Diamond's part of like an FTK. If you keep that at 1, who cares? Striker can come to 3. Dryas can come to 3. Healer can come to 3. I don't see why these guys are limited. They're part of like a bad Sunbind combo. I mean, like Plant is like, it wasn't a bad deck. It was like a good deck, and they've got new stuff. But I still think it's not enough to like make the deck more than like a tier 2 threat, unless you're in Europe, and then it's the best deck of the game. Like Emerald. Why is Emerald at 1, man? Put him back. Same with Librarian. Omega probably actually should be at 1 because that Dawn wants to return hand lips a little bit much on an 8. But these two can definitely like come back. Like let's see, Chain Strike. It enables like a shitty annoying burn deck, which maybe actually Chain Strike should stay at 1 because I don't want to play against Chain Burn at locals. Chaos Space, yeah, bring Chaos Space back to 3. Divine Wind to Mist Valley, bump it up. Chicken Game, bump it up. Dragonic Diagram, bump it up. Final Countdown, yeah, sure. Final Countdown, bump it up. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? It's part of like the world FTK. Like Magical Midbreaker, no, wow, maybe that should stay. Maybe that one stays at 1. Like I actually think like very controversially 1 for 1 can come to 3. 1 for 1 and 1 Day of Peace can both come to 3. 1 Day of Peace is like a tool for like stun decks that want to just like go to turn 7. So you just like one day into one day into one day. And then you just like can't die and you can't kill your opponent, but you out-resource them. Gives you time. It like gives you time. My neighbor's dog is fucking barking like crazy. Sekka's Light. This card should be at 3 copies. Sekka's Light is such a cool card. I really like Sekka's Light. I think this is one of those cards I wish they printed more cards like this, where there's like a deck building restriction, but you get a really cool upside, and it's kind of generic, so you can build it pretty widely. Like Snatch Steal probably can come to 3. I don't think it's that powerful. It targets, like it's not that good. Grass can come to 3, and I understand why it doesn't. It's because like Grass is like a frustrating card. Like, oh, my opponent activates a spell that mills 20. But we have Ash Blossom. We have a bunch of ways to interact with it. Like, we have ways that interact with the graveyard. Like, I don't think it's that bad. Same with Barrage. Barrage can come back to 3 copies. And like Sacred, why is Naturia's Sacred Tree is limited? Come on, man. Like, come on. Get this off there. And like everything at 2, like Fountain can come to 3. Sleepy Delicious can come to 3. They don't break Pearly. Lightning Storm probably could come to 3. I don't see a reason. Like it at 2 doesn't like make it less playable than it at 3. You know what I mean? Monkey Board, Eva, Tsuchinoko, Jackalope, Savager. I haven't seen any of these cards in so long. Put them to 3. Who cares? And everything that came to 3, great. I'm glad these are at 3. Like, you actually can take off like 30% of the list, and it like doesn't matter. It changes nothing at all. The game does not change. The format doesn't change, because the stuff that you can do with like, oh, the crazy Gofu combo, it looks really good, but the nature of modern deck building is you're not playing those balls to the wall combo decks. People have kind of moved, the deck game's kind of regressed to the mean of like, I'm gonna play this like ultra consistent like mid-range strategy that just plays like 20 engine, 20 non-engine, and I'm gonna like hand trap you 3 times and do my full combo, but you'll hand trap me 3 times. That's kind of the way this format looks. And it's, I mean, obviously I don't know what to say about like future formats. I'm not a fortune teller, but like I think a lot of these cards would come off the list and they wouldn't shake the format up in a meaningful enough way that it would justify them being banned. The only like of course the other thing is to think about like frustration with the format. Like if it's like really bad, if it plays like complete shit, maybe we don't bring him back. But I don't know, man. I'm not convinced enough that we need to like keep all of these cards limited or banned, because I really think a lot of them are like non-factors. The only card on this list, by the way, that can categorically never come back is Eclipse Wyvern. This card does Cold Fusion. I want to add as well that like so many of the cards that are on this list are just like so like a real waste of a slot, and it's a real waste of a card because you have so many cards that are kind of banned and living in this like purgatory. I really think that like bringing cards off the list, giving people more cards to play with, is like a good thing. And I think it's like Yu-Gi-Oh's like ban list problem is that just like too many cards are on the list that like really don't need to be. And I think it's kind of a shame that you've got like so many strategies are kind of limited. Like Fiendsmith is kind of limited. Like, oh, you had some really cool lines you could do with Lacrima, and like was it a problem when you had Beatrice? Yeah, it was definitely a problem when you had Beatrice. But like now that Beatrice is gone, who cares? You can bring Lacrima. Like, does Fiendsmith need the buff? Probably not. Like, I don't think Fiendsmith needs the buff. But like, you could bring Lacrima back, and it would improve the Fiendsmith deck, but it wouldn't like break the format. It wouldn't make Fiendsmith so much better than something like Malice or Ryzeal that you like wouldn't play those decks. You know what I mean? Like, you'd still play Malice and Ryzeal. You'd still play Ryzeal Fiendsmith. In fact, it makes it a headache for Ryzeal Fiendsmith, because now it's like, well, I have to get this other card into my extra deck, and the extra deck is already so tight in that deck. What do you cut for the Lacrima? Do you even play Lacrima in that deck? Like, you'd play it in like the Fiendsmith Kashtira deck, and like it makes it so like, which I get Fiendsmith Kashtira in this format, like, yeah, good luck, bro. Like, that's not resolving. But you could like, in theory, bring Lacrima back, and I actually don't think it changes the fabric of the format that much. Like, I think it is like really worth considering. Oh, you know, we've got all of this like real like ban list. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh's got a chaff problem in general. Like you look at commons and sets, you've got way too many cards. You print too many cards that are just unplayable. Like that's a chaff problem. But you've also got a chaff problem on the ban list. Like that's another place to kind of look at cleaning house. At like not like a hard reset, but like a soft reset. Like you could soft reset the format by unbanning a bunch of stuff. You don't have to like super hard ban a bunch of shit. You could unban a bunch of stuff as well, and you're doing really well then. I think that'd be a good thing. I think that'd be a really good thing.